Facebook is in here now. Shout out to you from YouTube, Facebook. That's funny. Um, Shout out to whatever platform you're joining from. I appreciate y'all tapping in. If this is your first time on my live and you've never been on my live before, no matter which platform you're on, let's get I guess, a post so I can see where I need to start. If this is your first time here, put a one in the chat. If this is your first time here, if you've been here more than once, put a two in the chat. If this is your first time here, put a one in the chat. If you've been here more than once, put a two in the chat. Shout out to you, Frank, sir. Just okay. We got some day one, good amount of day one people up in here. Cool. Over on Instagram, YouTube, Riff, Rumble, Facebook, wherever you at. One in the chat. If it's first time, shout out to you as well. Two in the chat if you've been for a while. So we do have some new people here, but if this is your first time on my live and you don't know who I am, I go by Zabo103. I'm the dude that get on these live platforms and ultimately I try to provoke some thought. And I think a lot of times when I get on these live platforms, as usual, a lot of people expect me to get on here and start selling. And I haven't done it yet. Let me just say it that way, right? Today is pretty interesting because today, Monday, what is it? September the 2nd, it makes 100 weeks straight that I've been going live giving y'all free information. I'm going to say that one more time for the people all the way in the back. This today makes 100 weeks straight that I've been going live giving y'all free information. I want people to understand that a lot of times when I get on these platforms and I'm giving this information, I'm not expecting anyone to go do anything with it. I'm just not. Because people are going to do what people do. But for the ones that do take the steps and take the journey, it'd be very interesting just some of the feedback that I get from those people in regards to how things have changed in their life. And I sit back sometimes and I think about if more people took more actions versus talked, man, this world would be very different. Very different. No, I do not do one-on-ones. Not even close. Not ever. And the reason why I don't do one-on-ones is, and this is not me being arrogant or cocky or anything like that, no one can afford my time. Plus, it's cheaper for you to get the information for free while I'm live. Call it a day. That's the scary part about it. Say via Google. Yeah, what's in Google is what you put in Google. Take that for what you will. I think that a lot of times, and I see it more and more on social media all the time, right? A lot of times people, like I'm live right now and I'm talking about different things you can do and how you can do this and how you can do that. And I'm showing you things that I've done and showing you things that I do in real time a lot of times, right? A lot of people have all these different outlets that they can go and get all this information. And I always ask the same question. If it's already there and you already know it, why are you not doing it? Why are we celebrating this day called Labor Day? If you figured it out already, that's something that you really got to just think about and probably go look up what Labor Day really is. You know, they talking about fair wages. They're talking about treating their employees right since the 19th centuries. We appreciate you for your labor. Imagine that for a second. Imagine for the second that you're excited about this 3-day weekend, knowing Tuesday morning you got to go back into the office and collect money from a consumer. Whatever route you're taking to get those funds from that consumer, you're getting it, giving it to your job for them to give you a fraction of it back. Make that make sense. This is why this past Saturday, when I popped on here that Saturday morning, I talked about spending time thinking about what it is that you really want to do and researching how to really get it and get yourself in a position so you can really start taking these steps. That's what this stuff is really, really about. But most people don't understand that. Most people won't get it because traditionally, people typically do the exact same things. Most people move with the same wavelength and the same direction all the time. This is the reason why when certain trends pop up, it's funny how almost everybody does those trends. That's amazing when you really look at it. Because most people don't know how to think for themselves. They're looking to be told. And hey, I can't be mad at that. That's what makes the world go around. I had a homeboy, well, still is my homeboy. We've been talking a lot these last couple of days. He down there in Florida. And he was, saying the same thing that everybody, it's 100 weeks right now. 100 weeks, not days. 100 weeks that I've been going live, not days. But like most people down in Florida right now, the biggest gripe that most people have is this, insurance that they have to pay on their homes to be living in Florida. And as we were talking about it, and maybe look, I don't live in Florida, so I don't know. Maybe some of y'all may have heard of this before. Um, but I'm not 100% sure. I didn't even know it existed. And it's because I don't live in Florida and I don't really do anything in Florida right now. But they have this thing with insurance companies on your home in Florida, and maybe I'm not understanding right because it don't sound right to me, where you have if the storm is named, it doesn't cover in your insurance just because it got a name. Maybe I misunderstood what he was trying to articulate to me, but that's how he conveyed it to me, and I can make sense out of that. Have anybody in the chat heard of that before? Anybody? If you're from Florida, or you live in Florida, you got a house in Florida, so it is a real thing. A name stormed. Yeah, I guess it is a real thing. Oh wow. Now I didn't do that famous thing of go Googling and doing too much anything like that. But I did type in Google named storm and it popped up. Yeah, I ain't never heard of it in Georgia. I heard of it in this is my first time hearing of it down in Florida. Why am I talking about that right now? whatever state you're in currently today, whatever it is you're trying to do and trying to accomplish, especially if it's something with like real estate, if it's something about, um, whatever it is you're doing, you got to start researching these things. The only reason why that conversation popped up because we were talking about real estate in Florida. And I was telling him, like, what would happen if I bought me a little piece of land on the coast, right, where the storms normally hit, and I paid the high premium that I have to pay for the insurance down there, and I start building right before storm season, build it halfway up. I got the full insurance on it. I'm paying the arm and a leg. And when the storm hit it, as long as it's halfway built up, I think, and I could be wrong, that the insurance company will pay you for your total house. That's what I heard. He like, I don't know if that's like that, bro. I said, have you researched it? Before you just say, nah, it don't make sense, have you researched it? It blows my mind how many things happen. So your mortgage goes up. I don't know if maybe if your insurance is attached to your mortgage, yeah, I would assume so, yeah. The point that I'm making is there are so many wild things that are out here right now that we don't even research. We just take the benefit of the doubt from what we hear from people that we know, that we see, whatever it is. We just take people's words. And nobody research these things. I'm gonna give you some wild stuff. I know we in political season, and I don't have no dog in the fight. And by the way, no matter if you are on the red side or the blue side, there's someone that's always gonna disagree with you. Just it is what it is. That's why when people ask me, who are you voting for? I simply tell them it's none of their business. It just ain't. You should get into the frame of telling people it's none of their business who you're voting for. That is a private decision that you have to make. Why do you do that? Because most of you all want to go out here and start businesses. And you're going to need consumers. And you don't want to cut a section of your consumers off by explaining to them or telling them who you're going to vote for. If you look at your job, the corporation that you work for, your job don't allow you to talk about politics in their office. You're never going to hear your job talk about the politics in their office. Not because they don't want people arguing and fighting. They don't want to scare away certain populations of customers because no matter which route you take, somebody's going to disagree with you. That's just the truth. But even though I don't share, my political party, who I vote for, who I don't vote for, it ain't your business. I always have questions. As my people on the red side, right? When they talk about making America whatever they believe is going to be again, I always ask the question, what period in history was great to you? And there's no right or wrong answer. For you, the person that's going extra hard, tell me the period in time when it was great for you. It could be a personal thing there too. But just tell me when it was great for you. Because the reality tells me that you're not happy with where you at in life. And it don't seem like you ever been happy where you are in life. This is the reason why you still trying to figure out how to get out of your rat race, right? This is why you're trying to figure out how to take your business to the next level, right? Tell me the period when it was great for you and your bloodline. That's just the way I think about it, right? I say to myself, I got to make the sacrifice to create this thing called wealth for my bloodline so that my bloodline can start doing the healing. That's my opinion. That's about as much as I can give you. Don't mean I won't vote red. Don't mean I won't vote blue. Don't mean I won't vote purple. Don't mean I won't vote yellow, whatever. Okay. That's a period in time when it was good for you. Amazing. So let me ask you a question. You know, when you start your own business and you are an employee of your own business, your company pays for your medical insurance. You know that, right? The corporation pays for your medical insurance. Wouldn't that make it free? It's crazy to me that when I was at Bank of America for 20 years as an executive without a college degree, even though I was paying for my own insurance while I was at the bank, it was coming out of my paycheck every pay period. I had what was called some really good insurance. Now that I'm a member of 11 different companies and my companies give their employees insurance that my company pay for, obviously me, right? The insurance that I have today is better than the insurance that I had when I was at Bank of America. I want you to think about that for a second. I want you to wrap your brain around this stuff for a second. The other part that sucks, if we put it into real perspective, the last time the government gave people free insurance, it put out Medicaid and Medicare. Is Medicaid or Medicare that free insurance you're talking about that's better than the insurance than you have today? I'm just curious. I want to try to connect the dots because I want to learn something, y'all. I see the people fighting for the red, and I be trying to figure out what period of time are we talking about. We got to make this stuff make sense. For my people that's on the blue side, I'm with you. I hear you. And again, Mr. Jeff, that's probably when it was great for you in the 80s. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you at all. How often do you go to the doctor? How often do you go to the doctor? Because it is just a practice. Well, they're smart people that are practicing medicine on you. So, how often do you go to the doctor? So, if you never go to the doctor, why does that matter? I mean, the juice got to be worth the squeeze. What's up, family? Somebody got to help me make sense out of all this stuff because maybe I'm tripping. And this is the part of the conversation that I want people to understand where it's like, if you want, if you want, I mean, that may be a good point, but that's not telling me when America was great. It's just not. Think about that for a second. Let's get on over here to this blue side because it's not one-sided, y'all. It's not saying I'm voting blue or red. That's none of your business. But I got a question for my people on the blue side that be always preaching this blue stuff. I just got a question. I got a question, and I just want to know. Somebody help me understand this, because maybe I'm tripping. I've been on this planet for 47 years. And for the last 47 years of my life, we done had people on the red side and people on the blue side in office. Now, for my people that's on the blue side, I need y'all to answer this question for me. As long as I can remember, every president on the blue side that has ran, whether they became president or they lost, one of the things that they always mentioned was, and it's still the same today, that they're going to tax the rich and the wealthy more. Every single one of them. So I got a question because I'm a little confused. If they're going to tax the rich and the wealthy more, got a couple of questions. We'll call it 2 questions. My first question is, when they get into office, why don't they tax the rich and the wealthy more when they win? Maybe I'm bugging. That's just one question. I'm gonna talk around that one question for a minute because I want somebody on the blue side to help me understand this. If every blue party that's running says they're gonna tax the rich and the wealthy more when they get into office, when we have people that's in the blue that get into office, why don't they tax the rich and the wealthy more? I'm just asking. Somebody help me understand that. Anybody? No? Well, I have another question. We talked about this the other day. If you're in power and you have the ability to make rules, would you put rules and laws in place that would negatively impact you? Would you put rules and laws in place that will negatively impact you? These parties that are going in on the blue side, they rich and wealthy themselves. So if they rich and wealthy themselves, why would they tax themselves more? Somebody please help me understand this. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm bugging. So that was one question for the blue. Let me ask this other question for the blue, and y'all can help me get it. I mean, we can all be in agreement, right? That rich is not a real thing. It don't exist. It's not a real thing. So if I'm gonna say I'm gonna tax the rich more, and the people hear it, the people like, yeah, go for it, and people believe that the rich is something that's real. When the powers that be know it's not a real thing, you can tax the rich 1,000% more. They don't exist. It's not a real thing. There's no such thing as the middle class, and there's no such thing as rich. So being that there's no such thing as the middle class and there's no such thing as rich, guess what, boys and girls? Tax the rich all you want. Think about that for a second. Let's look at these wealthy people that you're taxing more. Wealth is not money, wealth is time. Let's say you put the wealthy in a tax bracket of 92%, like how it was in 1952. You know, when Ronald Reagan was an actor making 100 grand a movie. And if you made over $200,000 in a year, you were taxed at 92%. Let's say we go back and we tax the wealthy at 92%. Somebody get your calculator out and y'all break this math out for me real quick. Somebody get your calculator out because I want to do the math real quick. 92% tax. Let's say we're going to tax the wealthy 92%. It just seemed like the right thing to do. So let's go on and get your calculator out. What's 92% times 0? What's 92% times 0? It makes me believe that the powers that be on the blue, either they not really that smart or they think I'm not that smart. Or you not that smart. The math ain't mathing. Somebody help me understand this. Said there's a difference between wealth and rich. Yeah, rich don't exist. Wealth is real. They're completely two different things. Think. This is how the game is played. It makes the average person believe something that exists and it doesn't exist at all. I saw something where they said they're going to go up by $25,000 on, I think it was like, they were talking about, what was it? It was like 25, no, 20, was it 25,000? Yep, it was $25,000 for the builder that's building homes. It was like some type of credit that they're trying to give out right now. I thought that was pretty interesting. They put a dollar amount with it. We're going to charge you $25,000 for you builders. And that's going to be your portion that you have to pay so people can afford to buy these homes. New homeowners, there you go. The purchasing for new homes, right? They're giving them a credit of 25,000. It was wild to me, y'all. I said to myself, here they go again, talking about things because people don't use common sense. So if you're going to give a $25,000 credit, what does that mean for the person that's selling the property, the builder that's building it? What does that mean for them? They're going to go up on their product by $25,000. They're just going to go up on their product. Right now, the average person going out to purchase a property right now, they got to spend somewhere around about $37,000 for a down payment. Somewhere around there. 80 grand if you're an investor on average. The stuff don't even make sense no more. It used to be back in the day, it was cheaper for you to go in and, if you can afford that mortgage, you can go get rent. I can remember a time where you can and this was a real thing, y'all. And maybe I'm showing my age. And I know as life goes on, prices go up. But I remember when you can go get a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment, new construction in a good area and pay $600 a month. I ain't talking about you in the hood. I ain't talking about you got to make sure everything locked on top of lock. I'm talking about you can leave your doors unlocked and open. Ain't nobody coming up in there. The neighborhood was amazing. You find your property that was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 600 a month. You was in a good, amazing spot. Today, you spend $600, you probably in a rooming house, and you got a room, and you share a bathroom, a kitchen, a living room. But even with that being said, at least now, and time went on, right? You probably can afford the mortgage and all the stuff that comes with owning a home, but you still can afford rent. Then rent went through the roof. You look at what rent costs you today. You spending an arm and leg for rent today on something nice in a nice area. So a lot of people start turning to what? Going to get them some homes. Well, what happened with the homes? Interest rate went through the roof. And being the interest rate went through the roof, now you can't afford rent and you can't afford what? No mortgage either. Imagine that. Think about that for a second. It's even turning investors away right now. Investors, for whatever reason, some of the investors ain't making the connection. Since these interest rates so high, man, I can't afford to buy this house, man. I ain't gonna be able to afford to have my tenant pay this amount of rent. But you gotta have a place to live, y'all. So what am I saying? Stop focusing on the last name of the party that you want to see in office and start focusing on your own last name. It's like you asleep at the wheel. You're celebrating Labor Day, and the reality of it is, if you really look at and dig deep behind the people in this country that was doing labors, they had a name. I can't mention it on this platform. We're in a safe place. Everybody's welcome. I'm just showing love. You have put yourself to volunteer to be one of those people. And you celebrating it. Man, I'm gonna go out here and consume some more. Let me go buy me some food, put some stuff on the grill. We're gonna pour out it a little bit. I know we gotta go back to getting this labor done tomorrow. But I'm excited they gave me an additional day off. Thank you, boss. Make this stuff make sense for me, y'all. Please make it make sense for me. At some point in life, you gotta wake up. And I ain't talking about walking around woke, preaching to nobody. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that at all. What I'm talking about is the things that you know that are just simply common sense. Why are you not using it? I wish I had my tablet in here, and I don't feel like rolling it in here so we can look at the 14th Amendment and start looking at some of the other amendments too, just to see what you've already been told. This whole concept of the agenda they put out of you will own nothing and you will like it. It wasn't something that the world economists put out. They said that was fake. They never said that, right? But it didn't mean it wasn't a real thing. You know how many people right now, and I don't want to talk like this, but I have to say it. Shout out to the baby boomers. The baby boomers realistically were the people, and I don't want to call it the backbone of our country, but man, come on, y'all. They were the backbone of our country, y'all. They really were. They believed in going out buying homes. They were the ones that believed in, yep, I'm gonna stay here for 30 years. I'm not refinancing, I'm not doing nothing. I'll fix it because I have the know-how and ability to know how to fix what I need to fix up in here. I'm gonna be in this house till I leave this planet, and I'm gonna leave it to y'all. I know you still are, but and this is the part where I have a tough time, y'all. None of us is on this planet forever. What's gonna happen when all our baby boomers are gone? They're gonna leave their property to their kids, and as soon as their kids get it, they selling it. Because this generations that came behind the baby boomers, my generation, was the Generation X, Millenniums, the Gen Zs, whatever the new generation is now. They don't want to buy a house at all. They want to live in the city. Every time you turn around, they saying the same thing. Don't nobody want to live all the way out there. They saying the same stuff. So this whole notion of you will own nothing and you will like it, we're seeing it before our eyes, not something that the government is enforcing. The people. I sit on this live and I tell people, man, go get you a piece of land 30 to 45 minutes out from the major city. Whatever you like in the major city, build it on your land. Whatever you like when you go on vacation, build it on your land. Whatever you like, whenever these things transpire, build it on your land. So you ain't got to worry about doing all this extra stuff. That way you'll love being out there. It'll be like when you go on vacation and you don't want to go home. Man, I'm on vacation, man. We out here in Jamaica, man. Ain't nothing really in Jamaica, y'all. If you go outside of the resorts in Jamaica, you in poverty. Man, Turks and Caicos is probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my life. They had resorts and villas out there that people were charging $250,000 a night. The water you can see straight through the bottom. But if you left off of that villa or off of them resorts, guess what, boys and girls? It look like poverty. Mexico is a desert. It's nothing out there, y'all. It's a desert. But the resort that we was in Los Cabos, I'm here to tell you, boys and girls, in that 6,200 square foot penthouse, I'm here to tell you, boys and girls, make you never want to leave. And you feel the same way when you go on vacation today. When you leave the airport and you get out to where you at, or away from the airport on your resort, you don't want to leave that place. You wish you could stay there forever, but you'll get back at home in the city and say, I don't want to live way out there, instead of just realizing you need to build what you want on your land. So when you at home, you on vacation. When you leave your home, you know you working. And you can't wait to get back home. I want y'all to think about this stuff. We looking for answers, and some of you all parents who were baby boomers, right? Some of you all grandparents who were baby boomers, they had it right. Best city to invest in? Um, Any city outside of the major city within about 30 to 45 minutes radius. So any direction you want to invest in outside of your major city, 30 to 45 minutes. I hope you got that. So it don't matter what state you in. Wherever there's a major city, you need to look 30 to 45 minutes outside of that major city in any direction. That's the best place to invest. And the reason why that's the best place to invest, because the city is going to continue to grow, even in Los Angeles. The city is going to continue to grow. And as the city continue to grow, taxes in those areas are going to continue to go through the roof. And as they continue to go through the roof, people aren't going to be able to afford them. They're going to have to move 15 more minutes out. You want to catch the people that are going to move 15 minutes out to become their landlord, because they're not going to be able to own nothing. What's up, family? Think about that for a second. I'll give you an example. Here in Georgia, the major city really is Atlanta. You got Savannah, you got some good cities around Atlanta, don't get me wrong, but the major city is Atlanta. Macon, Georgia. Macon, Georgia is probably about an hour and maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes away from Atlanta. They've been saying for the last 5 years that Macon is about to become the new Atlanta, because Atlanta is growing in the direction towards Macon. Now, everybody and their mama trying to go down to Macon to buy up stuff. It's still relatively cheap down there in Macon, y'all. But what happens if 10 years ago you were already buying in Macon? And then everybody running out here to buy in Macon, whether it's them moving towards Macon, whether them getting rental properties in Macon, whatever it is, they try to invest their money into Macon. What if you bought land in Macon 10 years ago? I can tell you right now today, down in Macon, you can get an acre of land on average somewhere around about $3,500 an acre today. 10 years ago down there, you can go and spend $1,500 an acre in Macon. Land is the only thing that goes up in value and don't go up and down. What does that mean? In 10 more years, that 3,500 gonna be somewhere around about $5,000. 10 more years from that, it's probably gonna go up even more. Newnan is good too. Remember, 30 to 45 minutes out from the major city, and I don't think Newnan is even 30 minutes outside of the city. I think you can get to Newnan in probably like 20 minutes from Atlanta. Maybe like from the airport, yeah, like 20 minutes. Probably shorter than that. It's going to continue to go up. And keep this in mind. The more acreage you buy, the cheaper it is. So if you're just looking for 1 acre, yeah, you might spend like $6,000, $7,000. It's going to keep going up. But if you go out and you buy 10 acres out there, you probably can get it right now, probably about like 35, 4,000 per acre. The more land you buy, the cheaper the land becomes per acre. What am I saying, y'all? It's time to start using common sense. It's time to start using common sense. Forget what everybody talking about. You gotta start using common sense. Let me give you an example. For my few people down here in good old Georgia. If I could buy something 30 to 45 minutes outside of the major city and catch the wave when that 10-year time frame hit, what happens if I buy something that's an hour to 2 hours out from the major city? And it might take it 20 years to catch on fire. Who am I buying that land for? I seen some land down close to Valdosta. It wasn't directly in Valdosta, but it was right outside of Valdosta. Now, that's more than 30, 45 minutes outside of Atlanta. It was like $1,800 an acre. Now, it's nothing out there right now. So I said to myself, what if I bought a bunch of land out there in that area where I could spend almost right at about $2,000 an acre? And I went out there and I bought me 100 acres of land. Not even 100. Call it 50. Could I turn that 50 acres into some hunting land? I could. Could I turn that land and start planting some timber? I could. Could I go out there and spend some more money and plant some pecan trees? I could. Could I go out there and build some storage units? Could I go out there and do I could go and do anything. Taxes, it just depends on where you at. Like, it depends where you at, depends on how much land you got too. And it depends what type of land it is. Let me give you an example. On the 41 and a half acres of land that we're going to build out our state at the top of the year, and I'm going to take y'all live on this. And I talk about this on every live now because I'm trying to keep people abreast of. You better be paying attention because not only am I going to take y'all on this journey as I'm building out this beautiful estate for my family, I'm going to be telling you how much this stuff costs. So we ain't got to continue to guess. No, you're going to spend $300,000 getting utilities to your property. No, you're not. So I say that to say this. On that property that we got down there on 41 and a half acres of land, it's no property on there right now. It's just 41 and a half acres of land. We pay $60 a year in property taxes. 60. I'm gonna say that again for the person all the way in the back. We pay $60 a year in property taxes on just the land. It's in conservation for the next 10 years. I hope y'all understand what I just said. It's in conservation for the next 10 years. So it's going to be $60 for the next 10 years, even when we build out this 15,000 square foot estate. Once those 10 years are up, we're going to put it back in conservation, but they got to come review it again. Once they see that property on there, the taxes are going to go up. But they're going to see that there's livestock on there now. That's another tax break. Check that box. We're going to put a couple of burial sites on the land. Check that box. Now the property taxes on what they take out of conservation, in this instance, it'll be like 7 acres. That property tax is going to go to zero. The remaining 34 and a half acres of land will still be in conservation. The taxes on that portion of land will go down to about $35 a year. What about the water? Well, we're going to put 2 wells on our land. Anytime you have over 10 acres of land in Georgia, for the most part, you have the ability to put a well on there. But if there's city water connection near your property for any reason, you have to go with the city water. But if you already got a well there, it's grandfathered in. So how much is the water going to wind up being? Zero. Now it's going to cost us probably, when I looked at the math on the well for those 2 wells on the book, I think it was like 15 grand a piece to put the well in. It's going to cost us another 25 grand for the reverse osmosis system that we're going to put attached through the well so the water come in. You It's like buying bottled water, but better. So we're gonna spend some money out the gate, but the water bill is gonna be zero. I've been looking at the cooler generator. I've been looking at the Genzex generator. Probably gonna do like 3 of them out there for right now until we build the other properties. But in theory, if we wanted to, when is your bill the most? During the winter or during the summer? When is your electricity bill the most? During the winter or the summer? Pick one. During the summer months? So for 3 months, your electricity bill is through the roof. What happens if we shut the utility down for 3 months and let the generators do what they do? Think. It's running off that propane. We even got it built in there to have premium and diesel gas tanks. Like how you go into the gas pump, it'll be on our land too. And we'll have the trucks delivered. We don't drive much. We don't go nowhere that much. Maybe once a month. I get it. The point that I'm making is simply this, y'all. This stuff is still pennies. Right now, today, how much are you paying in bills every single month? Between your rent and your mortgage, your utility bills, your car payment. I know it's expensive. At least people, that's what they call it, expensive. But that means it's expensive for you. Think. How much do you pay right now? Are you spending $2,000 a month for all your bills? Are you spending $3,000 a month for all your bills? Are you spending $10,000 a month for all your bills? Are you spending $40,000 a month for all your bills? Are you spending 100 grand a month for all your bills? Think. So you telling me if you stayed in your lane, bought you some land, built you a home cash, don't mess with the banks on that. I mean, you can, but build your own personal cash so you ain't got no mortgage, so you ain't worried about the interest rate. And you put everything on your land, and the only thing you had, because you hadn't figured out this public and private thing yet, if the only thing you had left was utilities to pay, you know how different your life will be? If you had nothing but utility bills, man, I got a utility bill of $500 a month. Okay. You ain't got no car payment. You ain't got no mortgage. You ain't got no rent. You paying for that gas to come through once a month. Let's say on a monthly basis you spending, I don't know, call it $500. I'm being extreme. Because you might not even drive as much if you ain't got that many places to go if you got everything on your land. Say you're not really going to the grocery stores like that because you didn't figure out how to process this meat. You didn't figure out how to grow your own vegetables and fruit. You didn't figure out how to raise your seasonings, how to raise them, put them in the oven and bake them on down. You didn't figure out how to do all this stuff. In your city, you done found a way to get them to approve you to collect rainwater. Think we will have a gas station on our property, not for the public, for the people that live on this private property. Think What happens? Who cares if you spending $2,000 a month doing this? Because if you've got the ability to put yourself in this situation, you can remember a time in your lifetime where you were spending 60 grand a month on bills. I can. Can't about spending a couple of grand a month. That's $24,000 a year. Think. This stuff ain't that complicated, y'all. But we've been conditioned to believe that these things aren't possible for everybody. They're only possible for people that get lucky, people that get an opportunity to fall into this situation where they can make this thing happen. And the only thing I'm trying to get people to understand is that if you don't see the bigger picture, how would you ever make it anywhere? If you just got here, family, sit tight. Think, y'all. This stuff is not overly complicated. And I hate to say it this way. You are making it overly complicated. Every time you start with the system is designed this way to make you do X, Y, and Z, you have just made it complicated. I don't know what's going on with this person. I don't know what's happening with you. I don't like doing that. What be wrong with folks? How many people in this live right now today, whether you, well, most people are off work today because a lot of businesses are closed, right? How many people woke up this morning and they just did whatever they wanted to do? Put a one in the chat if you woke up this morning and did whatever you wanted to do this morning. Okay. So a lot of people woke up this morning and did whatever they wanted to do. For those people that work a 9 to 5, and tomorrow you got to get up and go to work, right? How many tomorrow morning can wake up and do what they want to do on Tuesday? Now you got a choice regardless. We know this. How many people that have a job, a 9 to 5, when they wake up in the morning, they can just make a decision tomorrow and just say, I ain't going to work tomorrow. Now, everybody can make that decision. 100%. Not telling you to do it, but you absolutely can make that decision. Out of those same people that can get up and make that decision tomorrow to not go to work and do whatever they want to do, how many people can wake up every single day, 365 days in a year, and do whatever they want to do? Never go to work again. Put a two in the chat if you can do that. It's a lot of power in understanding that no matter what your situation is, you have the ability to never have to work again in your life. You just got to think. You just got to think. You got to start understanding that there are people like myself who didn't start with a silver spoon in his mouth at all. In fact, didn't have a spoon at all. You can change your life within a blink of an eye, but it's your thinking that's keeping you from doing it. I want you to understand that. The things that you're thinking about right now today, as I'm saying this stuff to you, are the things that you got to start to shape differently in your head. You can't continue going through life this way. I try my best when I get on these lives to try to convey some things that will try to spark some type of thought differently than what you've probably been thinking most of your life. How can you do it when you're in debt? Well, let's use that for an example. So when you say you in debt, right? I can't tell you what to do. I'll tell you what I would do, right? If I'm in debt, I probably got a job, I'm paying my bills, but I got a lot of credit card debts. Um, I got a lot of stuff going on. Say you're unemployed? Okay. Rich people got money, y'all. Y'all know that, right? Everybody know that rich people got money, even though it's not a real thing. Because if you can count your money, you broke. We know this. There's no way around it. Middle class people are people that realistically believe they have a different status than someone poor, but they don't understand no matter if you're rich or you're in the middle class, you're just poor. There's only two different spots, y'all: poor and wealthy. Just two spots. What you have to understand in your current situation, I don't care if you're unemployed, I don't care if you're in debt. Wealthy and poor have one thing in common: they both don't have no money. The only difference is wealthy people have time, poor people don't have time because they still trying to trade their time for money. I hope y'all caught that. So let's iron this out. If I'm unemployed right now and let's say I'm not just unemployed, let's say I am a bad credit score. What's a bad credit score, y'all? Somebody give me a bad credit score. And whatever credit score you give me, that's what I'm gonna work with. Somebody give me a bad credit score. So I'm unemployed. Somebody said 500, 490, 500, 520, 350. I think 350 the lowest you can go. My credit's so bad you're gonna have to staple something to it. That's the only way you can put something else on my credit. You gotta staple something else to it. So I mean I got charge-offs, late payments, I ain't paying nobody. And it ain't because I don't want to pay them. I ain't got no job. Mm, 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 mm. Watch this. If I was unemployed today, I've been on this planet 40 some years. If I was unemployed and I had a 350 credit score, in 10 years, in 10 years, I can be disciplined and focused. I can go from being unemployed, worst credit on the planet, to having good credit that I don't even use and being wealthy. If you don't believe that, put a one in the chat. I want to see this. That's a fact too, user. If you don't believe I can make that happen, I will paint the picture for you. Watch this. Now, I know everybody ain't got support. You could do it in 7 years, but I say 10 just to make sure everything's covered. Everybody ain't got support, so you got to do what you got to do. Right? If I ain't got no income, right? The first question I got to ask myself, why am I unemployed? Why am I not working? Why won't I go get a job? What's stopping me from working? Well, I hurt myself. Well, you're not getting a disability check at all? You can't work? What's really stopping you? So for me, if I'm one of those people that's just lazy and I ain't got no job right now because my last job I got fired, just got out of jail, even better. Age, say nobody want to hire nobody over 55. Amazing. Watch this. We're gonna put this stuff into work. If I just got out of jail and I'm older, credit bad, no job. Yes. Watch this. It means that when I got out, if I have a cell phone, right? Maybe I'm just assuming that I got a roof over my head. Now, if I'm just getting out of jail, maybe that's called the halfway house. Maybe if I'm up in age, maybe I live with a family member or a significant other that's pulling the weight. So, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Well, if it was me, I ain't have no job, been on this planet 47 years, 9 out of 10, I'm living with a family member. I'm going to beg somebody to live with them and make sure I'm not a burden to them. What's up, family? It just is what it is. Or my spouse, significant other, sign if I can't, is the breadwinner, and she's okay with taking care of the household until I get back on my feet. I'm going to live with my wife. I don't know. Or I'm gonna live with my baby mama. Man, my baby mama, let me beg her, let me beg her, please, please, please. I gotta live with you. I gotta do this. I'm going to live with someone. And if I'm living with someone, I can't afford to pay no bills. I just can't. Everybody, and not everybody, some people have people in their family. Some people have people in their family that's really making it, but they ain't made it to the point, right? I mean, but okay. Some people don't have family. Okay. So watch this. In America right now today, it's against the law for you to be homeless. What does that mean? That means whether it's private or public property, they can lock you up and give you a fine. So where do you live today? If you're unemployed and you got bad credit, where do you currently live in this country where it's against the law for you to be homeless? I'm just curious. I want you to give me whatever scenario you're talking about that you are going through so I can tell you how simple this stuff is. So let me ask you a question. Let me ask a question. Just curious, right? So you've been unemployed for however long, unemployment that ran out. You've been paying your mortgage for all this time. Hmm. And you don't have no family, no friends, nobody to lean on to assist you. Am I understanding that correctly? No, I'm just going. I'm going to ask questions. I'm not really. I'm just trying to paint the picture. We used to have to do this when I was at Bank of America. We used to have to look at customer situations. I used to train a group of leaders to go out and train their employees on how to paint the picture so they can see what people are going through to give people solutions. Just curious. I get it. So I hope you got everything out. And the reason why I'm saying I hope you got it all out, the reason why I'm saying I hope you got it all out is because I want to be able to I want to be able to paint the picture on what I would do in that situation. If every time I'm explaining what I would do in that situation and you throw something else in there, it's not really helpful for me. I don't know how I can help you in this situation if I don't ever have an opportunity to paint the picture if you always say, what about this and what about that? There's a bunch of resources. That's fact. So I'm gonna try to do this again. Maybe, just maybe, I'm gonna try to paint the picture all over again if it was me. And I'm gonna use your scenario. Just so we all on the same page. In debt. Okay. That's cool too. Gonna use all that. I'm in debt, no job, unemployment that ran out, I got a house that I live in right now. Watch this. Watch this. I got family, but they can't really take my responsibility on. I got family that love me to death, but they can't really help me. I got friends who care about me. They can't really help me. Got 2 car notes. Okay. I got kids too. So I'm in this house. Unemployment has been kicking in as much as it possibly can to help. I still can't find work. What am I going to do? Well, the first thing that I'm going to have to do is simple. Now, I don't know. Let me just see real quick. Let me just make sure. I'm saying for me, for me, for me. Okay, for me. The very first thing that I'm going to have to do, because I got to be strategic, I'm a man with kids that live with me, I'm assuming, right? No job, don't know how this going to work. That home got equity in it, but I can't touch the equity because I ain't got no good credit. I want to hold on to these 2 car payments that I got. What am I going to do? I can tell you what I'm going to do. There's a couple of things I have no choice but to go do. The first thing that I'm going to go do is, and it's just me because I ain't got no income, I'm going to apply for Section 8 because I know it's going to take forever. I'm going to apply for Section 8. I ain't got no choice. It might take years for them to give me Section 8, but I'm applying for it. I ain't got no money. I need help. I'm going to apply for food stamps because food stamps will kick in real quick. I'm just going to do that because it is what it is. I'm also going to apply for the government phone. You know, the Obama cell phone they be talking about that give you free internet service as well. I'm applying for that. Why? Because if I can get this Obama phone, I can get rid of my phone. I got my kids still. Like, I got to make this stuff happen for them. Ain't no pride. No such thing as pride in my book anyway. Forget all that. I got 2 car payments. My credit already of 350. One of them car payments got to go back. So, hey, this is going to be a volunteer repo. Come and get this thing. Come and get it. I got equity in my property. I can't refinance. I got to sell it. I got to sell this property. I'm going to put it on the market for sale at the top price I can get so I can get that cash. I need that money. It just is what it is. But I'm going to have a place for me and my kids to live. I'm going to have to go look at some 3-bedroom apartments that I know going to be through the roof. And I ain't got no income to afford that just yet. I got this property. It's on the market. People ain't buying houses like that. Not right now. Interest rate too high. So it's just sitting there, but it's on the market. What am I going to do? I done applied for food stamps. I done applied for that government phone. I done got rid of one of the cars. I done applied for Section 8. This property that I have right here, I wouldn't personally file bankruptcy in this situation because I got equity in this house. The house not selling. I got to keep it. I got to keep trying to pay it so I don't lose it. I've been looking for work for all this time, getting unemployment. Hopefully this Section 8 stuff kick in, but if it don't kick in, what am I going to do? I'm 55, right? I'm saying what I would do. I'm gonna take the one vehicle that I have, and I'm gonna keep the better vehicle out of both, and I'm gonna do DoorDash, Uber. I ain't gotta worry about them hiring me. My driving record's still good. I got a vehicle. I just gotta apply and put my car on there and start driving Uber. Me thinking through this process, I got this other car that's out here right now. I was sending it back. I called them and told them don't worry about it. Got rid of your car. Again, don't add stuff on. Let me work. That other car that I got, maybe I shouldn't have got rid of it because I could have put that on Turu and rented that car out. I could have turned that into income, just enough to pay the car payments. I can rent that car out on Turu for 15 days a month, $75 a day. I could have. What I'm saying is, I'm thinking through all this stuff that I can do. So I got this car on Turu that's going to pay for both of the cars. I'm driving Uber just enough to pay for the mortgage. I hear what you're saying, family. Hear me out. I'm telling you what I would do. We're going to talk about that too. Don't worry. I'm going to get into that credit debt. People rent all type of cars on Turu. It don't just have to be luxury. It can be anything. But I'm driving Uber, y'all. I ain't got no choice. Uber Eats something. I ain't got no choice. And I got kids at my house. Am I not getting child support? I'm putting my kids' mom on child support. And if they ain't got no job to support the situation, I'm getting it enforced and having them locked up. And every time they find the money to get out, guess what's happening? They gonna pay towards that child support. They ain't got no choice. They gotta pay that child support. We need the help. It took both of us to make it. I don't care nothing about. I don't want to put nobody in jail. You about to have your kids homeless, and it's against the law in this country to be homeless. You rather your kids go to jail or this person you made these babies with? I take the kids that we made this baby with for 500, Alex. It is what it is. I'm applying for Medicaid. I'm getting everything. Still ain't got out of the hole yet. Still ain't did the things that I know we need to do. I just saw the issue of not getting put out of my house by driving Uber or Uber Eats or DoorDash or Lyft or whatever it is in your area. I only saw the problem to pay the bills and put a little food in the house. Section 8 ain't kicked in with, giving me that voucher so I can pay this, take some of that pressure off of me. They didn't decided to give me food stamps because I got the kids in my house. Now I'm getting $400-500 a month because I got a few kids. That's gonna help me with the food. Man, I go to church every Sunday. I've been tired and all this time. I'm talking to the pastor. We need your help. At least till we get back on our feet. If the pastor and the church can't help me, I ain't going to church no more. I am not showing up ever again, and I'm not paying no tithe if you can't help me. Period. That's just me. What I'm gonna do next? I'm gonna look at other resources in the area. I might have to call 211. See if they can help me with a light bill or something. Keep in mind, there's only so much work I can do because I still got these kids that I gotta raise. I'm still in debt. I'm still struggling. What I'm gonna do after that? Because I got this equity in this house that I can't touch. I can't sell this house, y'all. Because my credit too bad, I ain't gonna be able to get an apartment. So the first thing I got to do after I done tried to get all these different resources, I'm a little bit stable because I got enough to pay my mortgage now because I'm doing Uber or DoorDash or whatever it is. I got some of these bills paid. I still got to figure out how to make more money. I'm on social media. I don't know how to work social media. Man, I got to figure this out. These different social media platforms will pay me for people viewing my content as long as I can keep them engaged. So what does that mean I'm gonna do on social media? Well, I'm not funny. I ain't that funny person. I'm not creative. I don't build nothing. I don't make nothing. What am I gonna do on social media? I'm gonna talk about my life. I'm gonna talk about all the struggles that I'm going through. My cash app gonna be down now. Y'all, here's the struggles that I'm going through, y'all. Here's the things that I've done so far to try to overcome these things. Anybody got any other ideas? I'm just going to talk about it. There's an audience out there that's going through the exact same thing you going through. There are also people that are out there that will donate to you just because they want to donate to you. Maybe they feel bad for you, whatever the situation is. Got to go ahead and get that YouTube. It's free. Got to get up on Rumble. It don't cost me nothing. TikTok story time, Instagram story time, Facebook, they paying me a premium. The only thing I got to do is show up every single day. My kids down here playing with toys. You know, if I actually turn that camera around to my kids' hand where they playing with these toys, that's the highest paid channels that you have on YouTube right now today. And it doesn't cost you anything to build that. Just watching your kids play with toys. Let's go on and get that channel monetized. Man, I've been so stressed out lately, man, I can't even sleep. Have you ever tried to use white noise sound to sleep? That stuff really be working. What happens if I took some white noise sounds from Google, the free versions of them, and the free images that I can get from Google, upload it to my YouTube, and play the white noise sound at night, all night, and people will join my live for the full 8 hours that they're trying to sleep with the white noise sound on their TV just playing, and you getting the actual credit for it, hence monetizing. It didn't cost you no money. Keep in mind, I'm trying to figure out all these ways to make money right now because I'm in between blessings. I still ain't solved that credit issue yet, have I? It's a lot of pressure for one person. But you still gotta think. Why you still gotta think? Because ain't nobody coming to save me. It ain't happening. So let me figure out this credit thing, man. I see all these people telling me to pay to get my credit fixed. How are they fixing my credit if I pay them? Let me do some research. Okay, I see they disputing, but they sending these letters. Are they really sending all these letters they talking about? I got a 350 credit score. I got so much stuff on my credit, don't make no sense. But I ain't got no money to even pay them if I wanted to pay them to get on my credit. Let me figure out how they do this. Oh my goodness, there's a company called LexisNexis. Let's see what LexisNexis does, boys and girls. LexisNexis is a company that houses all your information. What do you mean they got all my information? And what they use my information for? LexisNexis not only has all your information, you can call LexisNexis and tell them to freeze your Clue report and personal file. Clue report, CLUE, Clue? Clue report and personal file? Okay. When you tell them to freeze your Clue report and personal file, they're going to try to upsell you on some extra privacy. Well, I don't need that. I can't afford it. Do I need that? No, you don't need that. Just freeze my Clue report and my personal file. The representative will send you out a PIN number in 3 days. Okay, well, what am I supposed to do in 3 days when I get this PIN number? I got the PIN number in my hand and I froze my Clue report on my personal file. Now what am I doing? Now you just need to reach out to Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian and start disputing. What do you mean dispute? That's not my account. I was never late on this account. Verify this debt. That's not my address. I never applied for this stuff. Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian will have 30 days to verify your information. Everybody knows that, right? Well, I knew that too. What I don't know is, and what you don't know is, that Equifax and TransUnion Experian are going to reach out to LexisNexis to verify your information. Well, this is crazy. They're going to reach out to verify the information with them? That's how they've been doing this with this credit stuff then, but I don't understand how it's coming off. Being that your Clue report and your personal file is frozen, nothing's coming back. Well, we know what happens when nothing comes back. It's coming off your credit and it's free. Uh-oh. That repo just came off my credit. That charge off just came off my credit. I just got them old addresses off my credit. All them inquiries gone. Ain't no more lates on my credit. I done figured out some ways to make some money so I can keep this house that got some equity in it. I done figured out a way how to pay some of my bills. Section 8 voucher ain't came through yet. I done figured out how to keep this car note, this one that I got, keep my kids afloat. Now I'm making some little extra money and I'm still explaining my story. Do you know when this stuff started falling off my credit, you know that's going to be a part of my story time when I get on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever platform I own, and I'm going to share this with folks. Why am I going to share this with folks? Because people going through the same thing. And if they get it for free, they'll keep watching. Uh-oh. Starting to monetize a little bit more on these social media platforms. I'm still looking for work, y'all. They ain't hired me nowhere. But how is that going to put me in a position to become wealthy in the future? At some point, after I done got out of debt by fixing my credit, I done got my nose right here at the water. I can breathe a little bit, but I'm still struggling. Now I got this house under control. It got this equity in it. My credit good. I got a little bit of an income. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go and apply for NACA. 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 NACA is a program, a government program, by the way. A government program to assist you with getting a home. Now, you already got a house, but they will assist you with getting a home. You just got to move into the property. You can have no lates in the last 12 months, and you got to put down a down payment. You said, why am I so willing to share this information? Huh. Well, I'm willing to share this information because, one, I know people need it, right? But let's get a little bit more direct. You're trying to see what's in it for me, right? Because you're getting it for free, right? You do realize this is a use you situation, right? Y'all use me to get this free information. I use y'all to get to show y'all these pretty clothes and pretty shoes because my wife won't stop shopping. Why am I showing you these pretty clothes and pretty shoes? Because Zabo 103, because Zabo 103 is also one of my businesses. And even though I'm not getting paid on none of these social media platforms, business expense, business expense, business expense, business expense. I can keep going. It's a win-win situation. And I've been doing it live for the last 100 weeks straight. Think. I don't work nowhere because I ain't got no bills. That's probably the question you should ask. I know, family. Pat, they be on some other stuff. People be wilding. Imagine for a second, Solo, that you get free information and you feel like you're being tricked. I want you to wrap this whole thing. The reason why we're talking about what we're talking about, thanking you for your labor. Imagine you getting free information and you think you're getting tricked. There gotta be a gimmick, gotta be something. I know when people get on social media, that's what they do, y'all. Now I'm with your family, but I know people get on social media and they selling, they finessing, they hustling, and I'm not mad at it, y'all. But I'm one of those people that truly believe in every problem there's a profit. But let me go back to this story, family. Let me get back to this story because I don't want to leave nobody behind. Uh-oh. I got to charge this phone because if I don't, it'll all be gone. Hold on a second, y'all. All right, we're good over there. No, that's all love, family. So I done fixed my credit. I got my nose above water, my mouth still below. I got a little bit of an income coming in. I done applied for NACA. I done applied for Section 8. Now, when I get approved for this Section 8, I get to use my Section 8 voucher as part of my income when it comes to this getting another property. I hope y'all caught that. So me applying for NACA, I got to make sure I'm willing to move into the property, which I will be. I got to make sure I'm willing to not have any lates on my credit in the last 12 months. I can check that box because I just fixed my credit. I got to make sure I got to come up with a down payment. Now, that's going to be a little bit difficult because I ain't got no money, but I qualify for the down payment assistance program. I'm going to go through this NACA process, y'all. And I'm going to find me a property. I'm going to find one. And once I find this property through NACA, I'm going to move forward with the down payment assistance program they're going to give me. And I'm telling y'all flat out, I'm moving. I ain't got no choice but to move. Because even though I'm barely affording this property, I really can't afford it still. Plus, in 10 years, I'm trying my best to be in a situation where I ain't got to worry about working for nobody else ever. Right now, I'm still doing Uber. I got this social media thing trying to pop off. I'm waiting on my Section 8 voucher. 5-6 months down the line, NACA tell me they didn't approve me, and I can ready to go find me a property. This is the price range you need to stay in. So your mortgage payment will be this. We're gonna have to put you at a 0% interest rate because you don't make a lot of money. But I can go out and find me a house for $360,000. Now I might can't afford to go find me a super nice, big old pretty house for $360,000, but I could find me a little smaller property. Still decent school zone for my kids. Got shopping around, hospitals, all the things that I would require to be around. Me and my kids moving on into this new property, closing in 30 days. So 6-7 months then went by. I then finally moved. We then got the kids transferred to another school. I got this property still, y'all. Now I got 2 properties. What am I gonna do with this other property that's over here? I'm gonna rent it out. I'm gonna rent that property out for, if it was a nice, pretty, big old house, I'm gonna rent that property out for $4,000 a month. And somebody who making bread gonna move in it. They're gonna get a background check, employment check. Nope, I'm renting it out, family. I ain't doing no Airbnb. I'm renting that puppy out. $4,000 a month. Let's say, for the sake of argument, the house that we in is $400,000. Let's just say that for the sake of argument. Let's also say, for the sake of argument, we've been in this house for 15 years. Half of the time frame that it takes us to pay off this property. When I originally bought this property, I only paid $200,000 for it. So it's worth $400,000 now. Now I still owe like $185. Y'all know all the interest rate be killing on the mortgages, right? I owe $185 for it. I done put a tenant up paying me $4,000 a month. I done moved into my new NACA property. My little Uber job that I got and the social media stuff that I got going on is enough to pay my mortgage, pay the utility bills, pay for my car payment, gas, food. I'm getting food stamps still. Section 8 still ain't kicked in yet. I'm renting this property out for $400,000. I mean, for $4,000 a month. I owe $185 on it. As soon as that tenant get in there, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and get this property. I'm going to go take this equity out, as much of the equity I can take out. Maybe it's a line of credit. I know the interest rate, how I get it. It is what it is, y'all. On that $400,000 property, the bank's gonna tell me I gotta put $80,000 down on it, 20%, because I'm a investor. So they can refinance me up to 80%. That means they're gonna give me a $320,000 mortgage. I owe 185 on it. If I done the math right, 120 plus another $15,000, that means I just got $135,000 back on this property that my tenant's about to be paying back. On that $320,000 mortgage, I don't know, let's call it $3,000 a month with taxes and insurance, whatever they charging me. I ain't got no PMI because the 20% has been put down in equity. But let's just say the taxes on it is included in the mortgage. Let's say I'm spending $3,000 a month. The tenant paying me $4,000 a month, $3,000 paying that, and now I'm getting an extra $1,000 a month. I'm in my new NACA program house. I'm making this stuff happen. And I just got $135,000 to play with. Keep in mind, it was over for me. No job, bad credit, a property I couldn't do nothing with, 2 cars, kids in the house with me, drowning. With some thinking, some researching, and taking some action, I done figured out how to get $135,000 cash in my hand, tax free. It's not income. So what does that mean, boys and girls? Section 8 still gonna I'm still trying to get that Section 8. As soon as I get that $135,000, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go and get me a trust, and I'm gonna spend that $1,500 to $4,000 to get that trust set up. I ain't got no choice. I'm gonna go and start me a little business. That means I'm gonna go and get me an LLC, something simple. Go register business with the Secretary of State. Costs less than $100 in the state of Georgia. California costs the most. Hopefully you caught that. We already talked about that, family. That Section 8 work with that. Maybe you missed that part. Hopefully y'all caught that. Going to get that trust set up. Register business with the Secretary of State. Just here's what it is. Going to GoDaddy to get me some domains. So I can have websites, email, professional, all that other stuff. Register my business with Google. Going to get me a business bank account because that's where that money is going. That $135,000, I ain't getting that money to nobody. I hope y'all picking up what I just put down. What you think gonna happen on this? I done got the trust. I'm getting an extra $1,000 a month for this property. Got that 135 on this hand. Got my trust set up. Got my business set up. Got my business account. Now this property that I just had, I'm gonna put it up under the business. I ain't got no choice. Even if I gotta spend a little bit of money to have an attorney set up my actual LLC for me, so the LLC ain't registered up under me. Even if I gotta have them do it, it just is what it is. Say I gotta spend $5,000 and 135,000 for the trust, $5,000 for the attorney to go ahead and set up my LLC for me, get my business all situated, set it up under the attorney, so now it's private. I don't need Section 8 seeing this. Even though I'm a law-abiding citizen, I'm still playing the game. Now my rental property is up under the LLC. It's a public rental property. So the business is paying for it. It's really the tenant. I'm still working Uber, still ain't found no job. But I didn't figure out how to get into the NACA program. I didn't figure out how to fix my credit. I didn't got on this social media thing sharing my story. I didn't monetize my story. I got a little change in the bank now. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pay the yearly subscription for ASCAP, BMI, and DistroKid. And all this content that I've been sharing for free on these social media platforms, I'm gonna start uploading these different sermons 10 minutes at a time. And anytime somebody used the sound of my voice from these sermons, I will be streaming at that point. And not only will I be making money from these social media platforms, I'll be getting a publishing check now because I didn't put in the work. I still should have somewhere around 120 grand left in my business bank account that I ain't touched yet, boys and girls. What you think I'm gonna do with that? Man, I can't afford to go out and buy a whole bunch of land, but I'm gonna go 30 to 45 minutes out from the major city, and I'm gonna purchase me probably like 2 or 3 acres of land for like 20 grand max. That $1,000 a month that's coming from my tenant on the other side, that $1,000 ain't taxed until you get what's called a return on your equity first. You know that 80 grand in equity that you put down, that $1,000 a month is gonna go to the biggest whole life insurance policy I can afford. Why? Because your health is your wealth. The healthier you are, the bigger the insurance policy you can get. Imagine you put money, that $1,000 every month, into that whole life insurance policy, and they got a living benefit and a death benefit, which means I can borrow money against that policy tax free and pay myself back with interest. But while I'm putting that $1,000 in there, it's getting compound interest tax free. The tenant paying for it. I'm trying to do these things to make this stuff make sense. I know how to struggle. I'm good at it because I'm still struggling. Well, you don't need a allodial deed or title. They're only recognized in 2 states, by the way, Nevada and Texas. Plus, when you get that allodial title, the value of property becomes zero. The only value you have is the value to you. And the reason why the value of that property becomes zero, because the people that you're asking to give you an evaluation are the same people that you're saying you're not paying taxes to. Plus, no builder will work on that land at all because they don't have a way to ensure that they're getting their money from you unless you pay them all up front, which will be a disaster because they're just going to run off with your money. Because they can't put a lien on your property to get paid. You get it? There's other things you can do outside of that that'll protect you. Keep in mind, y'all, I'm still struggling. I done bought me, say, 3 acres. Let me see. 5. I done bought me 4 acres of land. And I got them 4 acres of land, and I'm just trying to jumpstart what I can jumpstart with them 4 acres. I still got 100 grand left. I ain't making enough money to save no money. I ain't making enough money to do anything. I got $1,000 a month going to that whole life insurance policy. What you think I'm gonna do with that 100 grand? I'm gonna try to get smart. I'm gonna try to get as smart as possible with that 100 grand. I went and took $20,000 and bought me 4 acres of land. 4 with 20 grand. What you think I'm gonna do at that point? I got that 100 grand sitting over there. I can't. I could go and build on the land, but I'm like, man, I can't really sacrifice this 100 grand because I gotta have this 100 grand. I gotta squeeze that 100 grand so tight Social media making me some money, but it's not enough to really do anything I wanted to do right now. My Uber thing, man, I'm getting tired of driving, but I got to do what I got to do. What's up, family? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and pay a surveyor to resurvey them 4 acres and make them into 1 acre lots. 1 acres. Instead of being surveyed and being plotted together at 4 acres, I'm gonna make them 4 acres lots, 4 acre plots. Here you go. And then I'm gonna turn right back around and put all 4 acres on the property or on the market for $25,000 a piece. You said that's what you were asking? Sit tight then, family. I might answer your question. I'm on multiple platforms. I don't see everything you write. Sit tight. I might be answering your question. And if you already know this stuff, then sit on your thumbs for a little bit. Other people might not know this stuff. $25,000 a piece. Now, when people come out, they're gonna try to hassle me a little bit, right? I can't pay you 25. I can pay you 18. Okay. I'll listen, I'll try to meet you somewhere in the middle. 18 ain't gonna work. I'll lower it down to 24. I can come up to 20. I can't do 20. What about 23? 21.5 is the most that I can do. All right, let's settle at this 24. Let's settle at this 21.5. I'm gonna sell each one of those lots on average for $20,000 a piece. If I sell each of these 1 acre lots for $20,000 a piece, I just turned that $20,000 into $80,000. Now I got that $100,000 still staying over there. Now I can add $80,000 into the equation. What you think I'm gonna do now? Like, what do you think I'm gonna do now? Now I might go and find me 10 acres of land for $75,000 and do the same thing. Now I know I tell y'all you make money when you buy land, not when you sell it. But in this situation with me struggling and trying to come out, I gotta think. So I'm doing other things till I get to this place. What you think I'm gonna do after that? Same thing. I don't want to found me 10 acres for $75,000. I'm gonna recertify those 10 acres to 1 acre lots. Now these 1 acre lots are on the market right now, $25,000 a piece. I know I'm gonna settle somewhere around 20,000. And if I'm gonna settle somewhere around 10 20,000, 20,000 times 10, boys and girls, is $200,000. I still got that 100,000 sitting over there. Now I'm sitting on $300,000. I ain't never had this much money in my life. Section 8 still doing what it's doing. I'm still doing this Uber thing because it seemed like the right thing to do. People still ain't hired me. Now I can't get Section 8 no more. I can't get food stamps no more. They done tripped out on me, man. They telling me I can't get food stamps no more. I'm making too much money. I can't get Section 8 no more. What you think I'm gonna do now? Because I still got a mortgage I gotta pay. I still got a car payment I gotta pay. I still got these kids I'm trying to take care of, even though I'm sitting on $300,000. That's not gonna last me for the rest of my life. So what you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take $100,000, and I know this extreme, y'all. But let me not even say 100 because I don't want to scare nobody. I'm gonna take $50,000 and I'm gonna go and find me, call it 5 acres of land. Now I could do the same thing to redo this again, but since Section 8 ain't giving me food stamps no more, I got to get an income. I just do. I went and bought me 5 acres, not even for, well, let's call it 10 grand a piece. 5 acres. I'm somewhere close to the city now. Not too close, but close enough. But I didn't pay me like 50 grand for 5 acres, 10 grand an acre. Still kind of high for land, but hey, look, I need to get close to the city. As close as possible. Now I'm about like 25 to 30 minutes outside of the city. 50 grand out of my $300,000. I got 250 left. What you think I'm gonna do? All this time I've been thinking. You don't think I'm gonna stop thinking now? I've been researching stuff. I've been trying to take some action. I didn't figure out how to build my own house. I didn't figure out how to build my own house. I'm still living in this NACA house. I still got my other house being rented out. That other house being rented out is paying down the mortgage as well as paying my life insurance policy. The house that I'm in with my kids, I'm just trying to provide a good life for them. Do I trade people on crypto? Absolutely not. I don't believe in gambling, family. And cryptocurrency is gambling. There are a few accounts out there, fake accounts, that are claiming that they're me, and they telling people that they some course they got training them on how to do cryptocurrency. Like, just be yourself and just show people how to do cryptocurrency. You ain't got to use me. I don't do that, family. Tell that person that acting like they me to go live. But no, I don't trade cryptocurrency at all. Ain't no shame in it, but I don't do that. But I got 250 grand left. You say God, currency, and silver and gold? No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. That's definitely not God currency. God currency is land. God currency is land. Silver and gold go up and down in value all the time. Land is the only thing on this planet that only goes up in value and don't go up and down. Why would God invest God currency in something that go up and down versus something that only goes up? God currency is always going to be something that everything goes back to it. Your silver and your gold goes back to the land. No matter if you're getting it from the land or you using it to pay for the things that are coming from the land. Well, let me ask you a question. Because everything goes back to the land, including you. How will you pay for it? With what? Huh. Let me give you an example. When you get your currency that you're talking about, what do you use your currency for? Whether it's the dollar bill, whether it's crypto, whether it's silver or gold, what do you use your money for today? I'm just curious. Food. Where does food come from? The land. The roof over your head. Where does it come from? Say it with me, boys and girls. The land. The clothes on your back. Where does it come from? The land. The water that you need so much in your life is coming from a landowner. The cell phone that you're using currently right now, the service that you're getting is coming from the land. Everything goes back to the land. All this other stuff is just products. Say invest. You invest your money to put it back into the land. That's the only reason why you're trying to make money. Any of them are good. Landwatch, Trulia, LoopNet, Zillow, the MLS. Let me go back to this, y'all. Y'all done got me off track. How do I know that land is the key? Because it changed my bloodline life forever. That's how I know. I know this because when I was at Bank of America making a couple hundred grand a year, I was working 2,400 hours a year. Ever since I became a landowner and been putting my money back into the dirt, this year in 2024, I've worked 0 hours. Last year, I worked a total of 57 hours for the whole year. Life different. Life very different. And it ain't pretty. But let me go back to this because I don't want to take nobody off track. Well, you're still trying to take me off track, right? Land is the key regardless of it because when there's no currency, you're still going to need the land. No matter what currency you're using, you can reach into your bag and pay for your land. Other countries might be the way for some people, but it's not the way. You're in the same situation. If you get to another country and you don't own no land, you're still screwed. You're going to take this barter system, whatever system that you're in, and you're going to use it for things that come from the land. The food that you eat, I don't care if you're a vegan, I don't care if you're a pescatarian, a carnivore, is coming from the land. The shelter that you need to be put over your head is on somebody's land. Everything. It don't matter where on this planet you go. You're going to be on somebody's land. Think. Unless you're going to live in the ocean. Let me know how that go. Let me get back to what I was saying, y'all. 50 grand, I'm going to go find me 5 acres of land. I got $250,000 left over. I know that I can go and build a house, and whatever the value of the house is, it'll cost me half of the amount to build it. How do I know this? I built 29 homes cash out my pocket. No banks. So I understand whatever the value of the home is, it normally costs half of the amount to actually build out the property. Man, them utilities gonna cost you an arm and a leg. Y'all know how bad the power company want to get that meter box on your actual property? It ain't that expensive, y'all. It ain't like you on 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100 acres of land and you building your property, your property 10 acres outside of where a major power line is. There's a power line going somewhere around there, y'all. Think. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. I'm gonna take my $250,000 I got left over, $165,000, and I'm gonna build me a property. Now I know my foundation can't be wide and it can't be all wide. Why? Because the more foundation you put down, the more you're gonna have to pay more money. Because when you build wide versus building straight up, it costs you more. So if I gotta go build me a property that's, I don't know, 2,500 square foot, it's gonna be 2 stories. It's not gonna have a basement because a basement gonna cost me an arm and a leg. It's just gonna be on a slab. I'm only gonna spend about $5, $6, $7 a square foot. So on that basement floor, if I put on that basement floor, I got me a property that's 2,500 square foot. If I build on that basement floor, I don't know, with the garage included, 1,500 square foot of foundation at $5 a square foot. I'm just saying. Somebody do the math for me. How much that foundation gonna cost me? 1,500 times $5. 5257. It's gonna cost me $7,500 for this foundation. 7,500 bucks. And I'm building straight up, 2 stories. The main level where the garage is at, it might be a 2-car garage. The garage gonna be like, I don't know, let's call it 500 square foot. That's gonna have me 1,000 square foot of on that first floor, 1,000 square foot over the second floor. I can put 500 square foot over the base, over the garage. That's gonna give me 2,500 square foot. I can go get that framing done for like $35,000, if not cheaper than that. I can get that plumber to come in and spend 15 grand for it. The electrician to come in and spend another 15 grand, 30 grand, 30 grand. That's $60,000. 7,500 on top of that. That's 37.5. Call it, I spent 50 grand for this, the framing portion of it. I don't know. I'm just throwing some random stuff out there. I'm at 100 and I'm at 100 and what's that? $115,000. I said 165. Okay, cool. What I'm gonna do with that 165, man? I got to get that concrete poured. I can't have the concrete poured on Monday or Friday because it costs too much money. I'm gonna get that concrete from Tuesday or Wednesday. Build me a little driveway. The landscaping stuff, man, I had to put a septic tank out there. I found one for 6,500. Got that primary drain, that secondary drain out there just to make sure we covered. I ain't putting no sod out there. I can't afford no sod. I'm throwing the seeds down. I'm coming out there and watering that puppy every day. The finishes on this property, I ain't spending no arm and leg. I'm not buying no freaking tile for that first floor. I'm going to polish the concrete. Won't even be 225. 165 is all I got. I'm going to polish this concrete. Make that thing look like glass. You're going to think you walking on marble. I know the wear and tear on it ain't going to be none. You can't tear up that concrete. So I ain't putting no floors down. I done went and bought the sheetrock. The sheetrock ain't that thick, so you gonna hear what the other person in the room doing. I done bought some basic sheetrock. I done came out and did the paint myself. I only got a basic roof. Ain't that complicated about this roof on here. I went to Home Depot and bought some basic builder grade cabinets and spent $4,000 for all the cabinets that need to go up in there. And me and my brother gonna figure out how to hang this. I'm just telling you. I ain't buying no expensive doors. I'm gonna go buy a door and I'm gonna paint it. It just is what it is. The fixtures aren't gonna be the most expensive fixtures. It's gonna be something nice, modern, sleek. But it's gonna be just build a grade. Y'all, I'm staying up with this 165. I ain't got no choice. I ain't got no money. I still got all these bills and I'm tired of driving Uber. I done got the HVAC put in. The HVAC gonna cost me, man, I only can afford to have, I can't buy two systems. I only can get one. Because one system gonna have to work. We got ceiling fans in all the rooms. Got the fireplace and all the, oh, it is automatically on YouTube and Facebook. Y'all, I gotta make this stuff happen. No, that 2-story house, I'm only gonna put it on an acre of land. And the only reason I'll put it on an acre of land just in case I got to get that septic tank. And in the state of Georgia, you got to be on 0.75 acres to get that septic tank approved. It just is what it is. So I'm gonna put it on an acre of land. On them, just 1 acre of the 5 acres. Once this property is finished complete, I done got it situated. I done cut costs where I can cut costs at. The things that I can do myself, I done did myself. What you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna rent out this house. Now, I ain't gonna get an arm and a leg for it because I just spent 165 for it. Now it's worth about 300. I call it 300 max. I ain't gonna give it quite double. I say it's worth 300 grand. It took me 165 to build it. I done put the tenant in there. How much a tenant gonna pay me on this new? I'm gonna call it 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, new construction house, 30 minutes outside of the city. How much the rent gonna be? Anybody want to guess? 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, new construction house with a 2-car garage, sitting on an acre of land. How much you think the rent? 400, 2,500, 4,000. I ain't gonna go crazy, y'all. I'm only gonna charge these people like, it don't matter. Pick whatever city you live in. Whatever city you live in right now today. 2,500, 3 grand, 5 grand. You might live in Cali. $2,500 is probably about right. I know in Georgia that's about right. What if I charge them 2,500 a month? What you think I'm gonna do at that point? Now I'm gonna go to the bank and I'm gonna put this house in debt. I'm gonna put a mortgage on there. Gotta throw it on there, y'all. Now I got this mortgage on here. The property worth 300 grand. I only paid 165 for it. The bank gonna want me to put down 20% because I'm an investor. 20% of $300,000 is $60,000. It's a good thing I got it in equity. What you think I'm gonna do at that point, boys and girls? I'm gonna go and get this mortgage for $240,000. When that $240,000 is being paid off, who's getting that money? Me. I'm getting the money. Ain't no loan on that property. I just took my 165 grand and I just did this thing. So 165,000 it cost me to build it. I got 240 back. 240 subtracted by $165,000. If my math is correct, 35, 40, that's $75,000 on top of the money I got back to build. And it's all tax free because it's a loan. that my tenant paying back. How much is the mortgage on a $240,000 house? Anybody know? How much is the mortgage on a $240,000 house? Anybody know? Anybody want to guess? $2,000 a month on 240,000. It's probably close to about 1,500. But if you add like taxes onto it, yeah, you probably be like $2,000. Call it $2,000. It don't matter. Call it $2,000. The tenant paying me 2,500. I think it's close to 1,500, if I'm not mistaken. If I do the math on it, say 6% interest rate, 30 years on that thing. 30 years divided by 240. Yeah, it's like 1,500 a month. But if the tenant paid me 2,500, 1,500 getting paid to the mortgage. That other $1,000, guess what, y'all? It ain't taxed out the gate. You got to get what's called a return of your capital first. I got 240,000 in this hand, tax free, and I got an extra $1,000 over here. What you think I'm doing at that point? I got 4 more acres of land. I can do this 4 more times. If I do this 4 more times, and every time I do this, I'm getting $75,000 back in profits that ain't taxed. Out of that 250 that I had left, I only spent 165. I had somewhere around, I don't know, 35,000, make it 200. Then at 50, I had what, 85,000 still in the bank when I got that 240 back. If I do that 4 times, well, 5 times 75,000. If I carry the one, that's $375,000 on top of the original money that I had in my account on here, which was 250. 375,000 plus 250. That's carry the one. That's $625,000 that I done generated. Keep in mind, boys and girls, when I started this process, my credit score was 350. I was unemployed, 3 kids in the house with me, with a mortgage and 2 cars. I'm still struggling, but I ain't struggling the same struggle like I was, because my original property, guess what I just did? I rented out my original property. I done went and got on this NACA program at 0%. I'm sitting in this NACA house right now where my mortgage is cheap. I've been flipping land for a minute. Then I done went and got enough land flipped to go and get me 5 rental properties right now that's actually then gave me back in cash in my business account, because I ain't figured out how to do a lot of stuff yet. I managed to get $625,000 starting from where I started from. Keep in mind, nobody's still hiring me because I'm not in a position to be hired. The life insurance policy that I've been paying for, my first tenant has been giving me that extra 1,000 a month. They've been paying that life insurance policy. Think about that. What you think I'm gonna do at this point? Let's say this process that took me all of 5 years to accomplish. I got $625,000 in my account to play with. I'm getting $5,000 a month, y'all. I'm getting $5,000 a month. Between those 5 rental properties with those extra $1,000, that's another $60,000 a year. I ain't really got to drive Uber no more, because that's $60,000 a year that I'm getting. That's enough to take care of my bills now, y'all. More than enough. So now I'm not working nowhere. And it's been 5 years. I ain't even looked at that $12,000 I've been putting into my life insurance policy, that whole life insurance policy that's been getting compound interest tax free that I ain't touched. I've been doing that for the last 5 years. It's easily 75 grand sitting over there too. So I got 625 in my business bank account because I'm about to conduct some business. I got 75,000 in my life insurance policy I can tap into. That means I got 700 grand that I done generated in 5 years, starting from where I started at. I hope y'all picking this stuff up. In 5 years, I done went from bad credit, looking for work and can't find no work, to now credit is A1 because I ain't used my credit at all other than getting these investment properties. And the tenant's paying them back, making my credit look amazing. I then went from not having an income to having 700 grand that I can tap into, to now I ain't looking for no job. I ain't even working Uber no more. Because the math don't math to me. My social media then went through the roof. You know how much I done monetized showing people how to do what I just did, how to get out of my situation, from fixing my credit to coming up with creative ways to make money. My social media monetization then went through the roof. I'm easily clearing 3 grand a month on social media within 5 years. That's another $36,000 a year on top of that 60 grand that I'm getting from the tenants a year. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. See, the problem is most people think they lack money. You don't. You lack information and taking action with the information that you get. And it's because you're not using common sense. I can't make this stuff up if I wanted to. This stuff is wild to me. But you'll have people jumping down your throat to tell you who to vote for. And both of these parties are rich or wealthy. And by both of these parties being rich or wealthy, they only gonna do what's in the best interest of themselves. So guess what you need to do, boys and girls? If you want to become rich, become rich. It ain't a real thing. You need to become wealthy. Why? Because when you become wealthy, the laws are written for the wealthy people. You'll never find. And y'all, I know I get passionate about this stuff sometimes. So like if I'm, especially like if I'm directing conversations to you, don't be offended because I get passionate about this. I'm only showing love, y'all. This is a safe place and everybody welcome. But I'm not telling y'all something I just mysteriously came up with, y'all. I'm explaining what I did. I'm explaining to y'all what I did. And this is why I get so taken back sometime when people be like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, well, how did I do it? I have a 7 day weekend every week. I have a 7 day weekend every week. Think. You can go to Landwatch Family. You can go to Zillow. You can go to LoopNet. You can go to Trulia. You can reach out to the for the MLS. Reach out to a broker or an agent that specializes in land. Tell them to send you all the land they can in the budget that you have, and they'll send it all to you for free. All for free. Find the local land bank in your city. I'm going to say that one more time. Find the local land bank in your city. Which part? Find the local land bank in your city. A land bank is like a foreclosure auction, but for land. A lot of people ain't never even heard of a land bank before or land bank authorities. The starting bid on that land is $3,000. The starting bid on that land is $3,000. And whatever you pay for it, you own it free and clear. Y'all, it don't be nobody at these land bank auctions, y'all, because people ain't never heard of before. The last one, me, my brother, and my sister went to, it was 8 people there, and we were 3 of the 8. Why we not taking advantage of this stuff? Now, I'm not talking about like a tax deed sale. I ain't got nothing against that, but it seems like there's a lot of red tape going through that. The point that I'm making here is this, y'all. You got to think and you got to start researching stuff. And research doesn't just mean I went on social media and put the search in social media and somebody said it. No, go vet this stuff out. Listen, if you want to know about land in your community where you at, go down there to the county. Go talk to the people down at planning and zoning. They'll tell you a lot of stuff for free. A bunch of crap. Just go down there with a list of questions to ask them. Go in there. It don't never be nobody in there. And just when you get to the actual teller or the representative, just start asking questions. Go down there to the health department. And when you get down to the health department, just ask the people at the health department information about soil, for the soil testing or the perk test. Ask them information about what you can build and what you can't build. Ask them how many square footage or how many feet away from the street or from the gas line or from this line does the property need to be. Ask them how many acres your land have to sit on to build a dwelling. Think, y'all. All this stuff is free. Go to your local library and go to the non-fictional section in the library. I was told it's against the law for them to have false information in the non-fictional section books. That's what I was told. I don't know if that's true. And the reason why I was kind of confused that it went true, I said, if you can't put false information in this non-fictional section over here in these books, and it's against the law to have false information in those books, why the Bible ain't over here? That's a different conversation. That's a different conversation. Get on the library computer in that database and start researching and get off of Google. What's in Google is what you put in Google, boys and girls. Well, you don't have to be torn. Land is good everywhere you go. Land is good everywhere you go. Wherever there's land, it's good money. Amazing money. Think about that for a second. Shout out to that. Congrats. Purchasing property from a tax sale. That's dope. Think, y'all. All this stuff bags back into public use and private use. No matter where the land at, all land is good land. All land. Because you make money when you buy land, not when you sell it. Remember what I was talking about at the beginning? Flipping land, flipping land, flipping land? Yeah, I'm getting up some capital, but I wasn't making no money. Not for real. I was just flipping to get capital to play the long game with land. Land is the key to When you look at people that are really, really wealthy, not the people that most people talk about, they're not really wealthy. They're just the richest broke person you know. But I'm talking about wealthy people, people that they had wealth in their family for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Y'all, they got a lot of land. A lot of land, y'all. Think. They got so not just not properties, land. Like this stuff is like, and I know that's what we condition off of, y'all. We're conditioned off of I gotta go buy me, get me some rental properties and do this. And that's what I'll tell people out the gate because that's what people condition to do. But you know how much money people pay to go hunting? You know how much money people pay to go fishing? You know how much money y'all paying for the clothes on your back? Them fields that are out there that I can't talk about on these platforms, they making money by the pound, not by the shirt. I hope y'all just caught that. You know how much money you make off of pecan trees? We planted 100 acres of pecan trees last year, and we ain't selling pecan pies. Your cell phone service, a landowner leased their land out to your cell phone company so y'all can have service. You know how much these companies paying landowners? You know how much money is in livestock? Do you have a clue how much money is in livestock? A multi-trillion-dollar business in livestock. Why? People gotta eat. People gotta eat. I'm a vegan. I don't do that. Antifreezer comes from the cow. The fertilizer for your vegetables come from the cow. The medicine that you're taking to stay healthy comes from the cow. The collagen, so you ain't got all that wrinkled skin, it comes from the organ of the cow. The refined sugar that you using to make everything sweet is coming from the bone of the cow. Think. The soap you washing your ass with come from the fat of a cow. I use vegan soap. I use vegan soap. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't eat vegetables that's fertilized by a cow. It's genetically made. Oh my goodness. I don't use antifreezer for my car. I got a cyber truck. I don't use gas. I don't use gas. I drive a cyber truck. The tires on your cyber truck comes from the fat of the cow. Tires on your vehicle, y'all, come from the fat of a cow. Are the tires on your cyber truck vegan? Y'all better wake up. Y'all better wake up. You know how much money they pay for a solar panel farm? People ain't got a clue. You know the timber company will give you $4,000 an acre to come and cut the timber from your land, and you could just replant it from a fraction of amount and wait till they grow up again and get that $4,000 an acre once they done grown all up, maybe 15 years later. No, you know how much money these companies pay for pine straw? Come on, y'all. When you know better, you do better. But it starts with something as simple as something that you learn how to do when you was a kid. Most of y'all. Put a one in the chat if you ever played Monopoly. Put a one you ever played Monopoly. Goat meat is the number one selling meat in the world. How many of y'all play Monopoly? Put a one in the chat. I want to see something. Just curious. A lot of people over here didn't play Monopoly. Y'all didn't play Monopoly before on these other platforms? Any of y'all? Okay, a few of y'all didn't play Monopoly. All right, bet. If you've played Monopoly as a kid and you haven't really played it as an adult, I'm going to ask you, why are you not playing Monopoly now? All the rules still apply. Why aren't you playing Monopoly in real life? The rules are still the same. Well, it's different because in real life you got real money, and in Monopoly the money fake. Money in real life is fake. Money ain't real. Money ain't real, y'all. Who told y'all money was real? They lied to you. It's not real. It's not a real thing. Poor people believe the primary use of money is to pay bills. Wealthy people understand the only use of money is to make money. I'm going to go a little bit further than that, Mr. Adrian. Watch this. What if I told you, and I done said this on every live that I've been on for the last 100 weeks, that you don't need money personally for anything? Would you believe it? Put a put a put a two in the chat if you believe, man, Zabo, you don't know what you're talking about. You need money for personal stuff. I don't know what you're talking about. Put a two in the chat if you think you need money personally for anything. I want to see something. Got a few people. Okay, that's cool. I'll take that. If I told you you don't need money personally for anything ever, and this is the reason why you stay in your rat race, because you think you need money personally. This is the reason why it's so difficult to get out of this rat race, because personally you think you need money. Laundry, okay. You need credit. Mm, I haven't used credit personally in 9 years. So personally, you don't need credit either. I'm just saying, I don't know how to make that up. Haven't used personally credit in 9 years. And I haven't used money personally probably for the last 4.5 years. Personally. Need network? Not really. That's something they tell you in corporate America to keep you being a consumer. I'm going to go out on a limb and tell you the only thing you need is you. Is it because you're saying personally? Yeah, I mean, that's a part of it. Let me give you let me paint a picture for you. Money is only supposed to be used for public use and private use. That's it. That thing called money, the debt, the promissory note, all these things you want to call it, is only supposed to be used for personal and, well, not personal, public and private use. And this is the reason why people be stuck in that rat race. In fact, this is not the first time you're hearing this or seeing this. It's been told to you your whole life, but you haven't paid attention to it. That's just the truth. And the truth can never be considered disrespect. You've been told this. Is like the higher power above, God, whatever you want to call that higher being, right, has been telling you that money is supposed to be used for public use and private use. And you keep telling that higher being, that higher power, no, it's not. And that higher being and that higher power been saying, well, let me show you again, dummy. It's been in your face your whole life. And you ain't paid attention to it. I wish I can move this, but down here on this platform, I've been on here for almost 3 hours. And I got to move this platform over so people can see what I'm talking about. And I can't move it on this platform. Jeez, man. All right. If you're on YouTube or Facebook right now, I need y'all to pull out some cash. I ain't gonna sit around no collection plate, I promise. But I need you to pull out some cash. If you're on TikTok, Instagram, Riff, or Rumble, I need y'all to pull out some cash too. Because I can't move this. And what I want to show y'all is on your money. What I'm explaining to you by you not having to use money personally is actually on your money. So pull out some money real quick. Put a 1 in the chat once you have some cash in your hand. I just need maybe 1 or 2 people on every platform to put a 1 in the chat if you have cash in your hand, so y'all can keep me honest for the people that don't have cash in their hand. All right, we got somebody over there on TikTok. They got it. Let's see if we got somebody that got some cash on these other platforms. Put a 1 in the chat if you can pull out some cash real quick. If not, then I'm gonna have to go over to. I'm gonna have to move this, and I'm gonna have to end, I guess, Facebook and YouTube, and I already want to end that right now. Or you can just take the. All right, we got somebody on Instagram and TikTok. All right, good, perfect. I seen somebody over there got it. I bet. So y'all that put 1s in the chat, I want y'all to keep me honest. Keep me honest. On your currency that you have, whether it's a dollar bill, $2 bill, $5 bill, $10 bill, $20 bill, $50 bill, $100 bill, no matter which one of them you have, I want you to turn that money to the back. Look at the back of that currency that you have. Look at the back of that money. Just turn it to the back. Look at the back. All right. On the back of your money at the top, it should say the United States of America. Y'all see that, right? Put a 2 in the chat if you see on the back of your money, United States of America at the top of your money on the back. Just put a 2 in the chat. I want y'all to keep me honest for the people that's on here. All right. So I ain't tripping. Y'all see that. The United States of America is a business. Now, I know somebody say it's a corporation. A corporation is still a business. The United States of America is a business. A lot of people know that. That's not a secret. The United States of America is a business, and it's a public business. I want y'all to understand what I just said. The United States of America is a business, and it's a public business. So let's scratch that out the way. Remember, public use and private use. Right below where it says the United States of America, it should say, "In God we trust." If you see "In God we trust" on the back of your money below the United States of America, put a 3 in the chat. Just to keep me honest, because I don't want to make nothing up. Put a 3 in the chat if you see "In God we trust" on the back of your money. All right, we got some 3s over here. All right, we good. All right. We got them 3s over there. Cool. Now, this part might be a stretch. It might be a stretch, but this is what I heard. I haven't confirmed that it's true, but it makes so much sense to me, y'all. On the back of your money where it says "In God We Trust" is the name of the United States of America's trust. That's what I was told. I don't know if that's real. but it make all the sense in the world to me. If In God We Trust is the name of the United States of America's trust, that would mean that In God We Trust is private because your trust is private. Where if the United States of America is public and it's a business, and the United States of America name of the trust is In God We Trust, and it's a trust and it's private, but there go your public and private conversation on your money. You get it? There goes your public and private conversation on your money. It's telling you not to use money personally for anything. It's telling you to use it publicly and privately. No? Zabo, I hear you, man. That's a little bit of a stretch. I was with you with calling all this stuff out, but man, you just reached all the way over there and grabbed that. That ain't make no sense, bro. Anybody could have said that. Turn your money around to the front. Put on your reading glasses, boys and girls. Turn your money around to the front. On each of your currency, it might be in a different place. On your money, on the front, put a 5 in the chat if you see. This note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. You just put it in chat. Put a 5 in the chat if you see on the front of your money. This note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. It didn't say nothing about personal. It didn't say nothing about personal. So my question is, if y'all see that on your money, why is it there? It sounds like they're giving you direction on what the money is supposed to be used for. That dope, that debt, that federal note, whatever you want to call it, they're telling you to use it for public and private use. It didn't say personal. Why is that on your money? It's just directions. Yeah, I hear you, see, man. I get it, man. I know it's there, but I still got to use money personally. So let me ask y'all the question. Tell me something that you use money personally for today. I'm listening. You can put it in the chat. I don't care what it is. Tell me what you use money personally for. To buy food. I like that. Food normally comes up pretty good. Gas, clothes, entertainment, women. Okay. House, kids, bills. Okay. Rent. Okay. Debt. Okay. Health insurance, life insurance, to pay for what you want, bills, clothes, debts. Okay. Consumers. I'm still waiting on what y'all. Yeah, I'm really still waiting on y'all. The reason why I haven't said anything, y'all, because I'm still waiting on what y'all use money personally for. Y'all still ain't said nothing personally that y'all use money for. That's why I'm still kind of lost. Said bartering. Okay. Invest. Nails. Massages. Somebody said women. I get it. Build a fire. It's a Federal Reserve note. Use money to be a Federal Reserve note. I don't know what that means. Y'all still ain't told me nothing y'all use money personally for. Deodorant, personal deodorant. Okay. Still ain't told me nothing, y'all. Food. Somebody said food. Food again. Y'all still ain't told me what y'all use money personally for. To live and survive, to pay other businesses. No, still nothing. It's all public and private use, y'all. Lifestyle? No. I don't even know what that means, but okay. Healthcare? All right, let's go through some of these stuff. So here's what I'm gonna do, because y'all still ain't mentioned what y'all use money personally for. So what I will say to you is this: say lottery tickets. Okay, if you gambling, I guess maybe, but you still ain't told what you use money personally for. So let me help just a little bit. Let's talk through these things real quick. Private is not personal. Remember, if it's private, it goes in a trust. If it's public, it goes in a business. If it's private, it goes in a trust. If it's public, it goes in a business. Let's walk through this exercise. The very first thing that always pop up when I ask this question is the number one thing that probably should pop up for everybody, and that's food. Taking care of your family, okay, I'll add that to the list. I'm gonna go through all this stuff and show you how it's not used for personal use at all, and it's only for public or private use. Watch this. Watch this. The first thing that popped up on the radar was food. Everybody agree with that, right? Food, 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 food. Money is nothing more than a tool. Sure. Food pop up every single time. Let me ask y'all a question. Maybe it's me. I just gotta ask. Don't be alarmed. For those that gotta go to work tomorrow, you're 9 to 5. Right? Those that work your 9 to 5, working hard, if your owners of your business, the company y'all work for, see that the morale's gone down and they want to get the morale up, what do they do for y'all? Buy y'all pizza, put some wings on it, get y'all a couple of Pepsis, and then they expense it. And then they expense it. I got 98 employees. I can't afford to have none of my employees' morale go down. So what do? We buy them food every single day. They ain't never got to worry about bringing lunch to work. 8 of those 98 employees is me, my wife, and all 6 of our kids. Food is public, boys and girls. If it's public, it goes in a business. If it's private, it goes in a trust. Let's check the food off the box. Now we know that food is public. I'm walking around in a 7,000 square foot house right now. I ain't got no bills. This house is private, so it goes in a trust. What does that mean? The bills that come to this house don't belong to me, it belongs to the trust. Uh-oh. I'm on social media right now. I just told y'all Zabo 103 is also one of our businesses. Even though I ain't getting paid on none of these platforms, need pretty clothes, need pretty shoes, I get to do what? Expense them. It's a part of the marketing. It's a part of the uniform. It's a part of the lifestyle. You got a small business at your house right now, don't you? Don't you got a little office? Don't you write off the square footage of your office? I'm in my movie theater, conducting business. You don't think I'm writing off the square footage of my movie theater? When I'm in my gym, you don't think I'm writing off the square footage of my gym? When I'm at the bar, you don't think I'm writing the square footage off at the bar in my house? Because I'm doing content at the pool room, at the game room, in my office. You don't think I'm conducting business? It's public. Business expense. You got a car payment. Y'all saw me and my wife. We just went and bought this year in March a 2024 Long Body Range Rover, cash, $150,000. Showed y'all the check. Ain't no loan, ain't no car payment. The business bought it because I can't afford it. And being that it weighed over 6,000 pounds and used 100% for business, we got to write the whole thing off. The gas in the vehicle is going in a business vehicle. Who paying for the gas? The business. Who paying for the maintenance? The business. Your vehicle is public, boys and girls. Hint, you're driving on a public road. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Pick up what I'm putting down. I don't have use for money personally. Ever. Y'all saw me and my wife and my kids just come back from Los Cabos. We were in a penthouse, 6,200 square foot. Square feet, I should say. It just happened to be during the weekend or the week of the 4th of July. We didn't go on vacation. We went on location. A business trip, boys and girls. When you go on these business trips and you travel with your job, what do your job pay for? The flight, the car rental, the hotel, and all the food you got out there. They expense all of it. Imagine that. We went on a business trip, boys and girls. I just told you, me, my wife, and all 6 of our kids are employees. Man, you got to pay for that medical, dental, vision. All that time I was at Bank of America talking about I can't leave the bank because Bank of America got some good benefits. Meanwhile, medical, dental, vision was coming out of my check. Would you believe the 11 companies that I work, that I'm an employee of right now? The 11 companies that I am an employee of right now, they provide their employees with great benefits: medical, dental, vision, health. The company paying for it. I own the companies. The company paying for it. It ain't taxed. Yours ain't taxed either. It's public, y'all. We do a lot of different stuff. We buy land. We have rental properties. Nah, what man holding you back? I don't see no man holding you back, family. Not even close. Hold on, y'all. Uh, my bad, y'all. My bad. Hopefully we back on here. We got that medical thing out the way, didn't we? Hopefully y'all caught all that. What else did we talk about? We talked about vacations, talked about food, talked about cars, vehicles. We talked about medical insurance. What about life insurance? Bank of America, when I was there, gave me a $50,000 life insurance policy that I ain't have to pay for. It was free to me. When I left Bank of America, they didn't cancel that policy. Yeah, you expense the medical insurance. It's public. The business paying for it, not me. I ain't got no money. Bank of America had a $50,000 life insurance policy on me that I ain't have to pay for. When I left Bank of America, I reached out to my broker and I asked my broker, hey, I have these life insurance policies on myself, my wife, my kids that I pay for myself. I can't have the beneficiary being my wife or my kids. Can I transfer that over to my trust? I said, yeah, you can do that. I said, oh, okay, cool. You don't need to talk to my wife and my kids? No, you the policy holder. You can change it. You don't need their permission? No. They ain't got to change the beneficiary of who they want it to be? No. Not even on their policies? No. You the policy holder. You can change it. Well, how long that's gonna take? Give me 2 minutes. It'll take a couple of months for it showing your statement, but it'll be active as of 2 minutes. I said, well, wait. Bank of America had a policy on me that they provided for free. Can my companies provide policies for my employees? And since I'm an employee and happen to be the executive at my own company, can they put a policy on me too? Yeah, you can put policy on all your employees, long as your employees give you consent to do it. They can make the beneficiary who they want to make the beneficiary. The company can pay for it, and the ones you put on yourself, your wife, and your kids, since they could be pretty big policies. Uh-oh. That life insurance policy just became public. These kids get expensive, man. They employees. Well, my kid only 10 years old. I gotta wait till my kid turn 14. Did you know if you own any farmland at all, some agriculture land, farmland, boys and girls, your kids, you can make them your employees when they come out of the womb? My 6-year-old is one of my employees because we got some farmland, boys and girls. Uh-oh. That money I'm spending on kids just became public. Yeah, man, I get all that, man. Don't you gotta save for college? What about that? That's gonna be personal at some point, right? Don't you have tuition reimbursement at your job? At your job right now today, if you go to school and your job offer tuition reimbursement, as long as it's something that's in line with your job will pay tuition reimbursement for your school. You don't think I'll be doing it at my company either? If my kids decide to go to school, they got to go to school with something in line with what the family business is, and we will provide tuition reimbursement. That college education just became public. Not everything. Land that you own that's private goes in a trust. Land that you own that's public goes in a business. You get it? Did I miss anything? I just want to make sure I caught everything. Did I miss anything? Somebody help me. If it's private, it goes in a business. If it's public, it goes in a trust. Nope. If it's private, it goes in a trust. If it's public, it goes in a business. If it's public, it goes in a business. If it's private, it goes in a trust. Well, you have simple math, right? How much are the bills that comes into the property that the trust own? If it's $2,000 a month, you put in what? $2,000 a month. Well, how you putting $2,000 a month in there? Your business gonna conduct business. Your business gonna have business expenses. Your business gonna have taxes. The money that's left over from after your business paid taxes and expenses, money's only going to two places. A percentage of your money is going to the trust checking account so the trust can pay the trust bills because I ain't got no bills. The rest of the money is going to zero doing what? Buying land. Notice I ain't mentioned nothing personally at all. I hope y'all pick that up. Think. That's all this stuff is. It's just you thinking. I just showed you that it's on your money. Your money has told you that you're only supposed to be using for public and private use. Why are you so hell bent on going against doing what the money told you to do? So since you so hell bent on going past what the money has told you to do, what do you mean? What about revenue? What's your question? What about it? And again, I know we like to put terms and things out there that we hear people talk about it. Well, you got a bunch of pluses. What do you mean? Okay, let me say it again. Your business gonna conduct business. Your business gonna have expenses. Your business gonna have taxes. Your business expense could be the products that you're providing to stay in business. The taxes is going to be based off of your pluses that you had. You get it? So which part did I miss? You got pluses and minuses in that situation, regardless of the situation. The only difference is the money that's left over after you done conducted business and paid your business expenses and paid your taxes, that money is going to zero. You don't need money. That's the difference. Wealthy people do what's called a cash dump. The more wealthier they are, the more oftentimes they do a cash dump. When I was at Bank of America for 20 years as an executive without a college degree, looking back on it, knowing what I know now, I know they do a cash dump every month. Some companies do it every quarter. Some do it every 6 months. Smaller businesses, like I am a small business, we do one by December 31st every year. It's really that simple. Well, if you own a business, you are an employee of your business. You get it? What's a cash dump? Is where you take all the money that you got left over and you go to zero with it. Money is losing value every day you hold on to it. And here's a news flash: you only holding money to give it to somebody else anyway. Well, it don't have to be just, yeah, buy land and etc. There you go. Some people do different cash dump with their money. Some people, I a lot of people don't care for this person, but some people look at a person like Grant Cardone. He do cash dump and buy apartment complexes. You got some people that do cash dump and put it in the stock market. They do all type of stuff. When your business is conducting business, you having business expenses, what's included in your business expenses is also you still continuing to do business. These business expenses are dollar for dollar match. The write-offs that most people talk about, y'all ain't even write-offs. Most of the time, they're just business expenses. It ain't that many write-offs. If I'm being honest, it's not a lot out there. Not like most people think. You need and you will pay taxes. The only way you're not paying taxes if you're not earning no money. So I know everybody be trying to figure out how I can get away without paying taxes. It ain't gonna happen unless you're not making no money. And if you decide not to pay it and you making money, the IRS pretty sharp. You better start following the law. Go to the IRS.gov and just start researching these things, y'all. The IRS incentivizes you to go out and conduct business. The IRS is your business partner. Pay your business partner their cut. They're giving you incentives throughout that process so that you can conduct business. They want you to. This is how the economy keep going. They lay you right off the vehicle that you purchased for your business vehicle, what you paid for in that fiscal year, as long as it weighs over that 6,000 pounds and used 100% for business. Can you write off portions of your vehicle if you're not paying cash for it? You can write off the lease payment if it's used for business. You can write off the gas, the mileage, whatever it is. Go research it. Your business, the IRS incentivizes you to buy your employees food. You know that, right? Go look it up. The IRS incentivizes you to take these business trips so you can continue conducting business. The IRS incentivizes you to pay for marketing. They know you got to market your business. Think. That includes your grooming too. So, ladies, you're getting your hair done to groom yourself for your business. Guess what? It's included. To make sure you're manicured. Okay. Let's say you wanted to go get for a week time straight. You want to go get massages and all this other stuff. I'm just throwing something out. I don't know, freaking out. Let's just say they got a hotel where you're going to conduct business at for an event, and you're gonna stay at this hotel for this full week at this event. And you decide every day that you're gonna get massage while you at this event, right? At this hotel. Charge this massage to my room. Your business paying for the hotel. Or did I miss something? When we went to the Falcons game last year and watched the Falcons play the Washington Commanders in the suite, my company took me, my wife, and 30 other people to the Falcons game, and we conducted business in the suite. Business expense. You can't do that. Well, why did Bank of America send us to all these places, y'all? Not just to the Falcons game, the Hawks game, the Braves game, and birthday bash, a concert in the suite. All the food and all the drinks you want. And then they expensed it. If your job can do these things, you can too. They just conducting business. Or did you not like the business that they conducted? I need y'all to put on your thinking cap now. Somebody said something about they use their money personally for women. Oh my goodness. How many women do you need, sir? You conducting you using your money personally for women. Tell me, sir, how much money do you need? How many women do you need for personal since you using it for women? You got you two women. You're gonna get in trouble at some point with these women, man. I'm just telling you. I wouldn't advise that. That ain't me. Just one? Okay. And that's what you use money personally for? Let me ask you a question. That one woman that you need that you don't want to make your wife. You don't want to make her your wife. She just a girl that you spending money on, and that's who you want to be with. And she's spending your money because she ain't got no money. And that's what you use the money person for. Why not just hire her as your secretary? Make her your secretary, put her on payroll to get it all out the way. And even when you take your business trip, don't you take your secretary with you? Sounds like your woman is public too. Not because she out here doing what she doing with all these different people publicly, including you. Y'all better think. You still ain't told me what you're using money personally for. I'll wait. I'm listening. I don't have no take on that, family. You wildin'. I'm still waiting on y'all to tell me something personally that you're using money for. Nothing. No, nothing. Okay. What about investments? Well, investments are pretty simple, right? You invested into what your business, right? That's public. That's not personal. You ain't got no personal investment. Everything is business. Burials? Well, if your business is paying for your life insurance policy and there are people that you got to spend money on to bury, you should also be having them as an employee so the business can pay for their life insurance policy so that when they pass, which the life insurance policy money is going to go into the trust, which is private at that point. What does that mean? Their business is the person that funded the life insurance policy. The beneficiary of that policy is the trust. The trust just paid for what? You ain't doing a fish fry. Or did I make that up? I don't know what's up with folks. People do be getting in here to troll, right? And when they get in here to troll, I just block them. Lottery tickets. Hmm. So if you are addicted to gambling, you should probably get help. You probably should get help if you're addicted to gambling. But let me ask you a question. I'm just curious. If your business conducting business and your business got business expenses and the money that's left over is going to two places, a percentage of the money is going to the trust checking account so the trust can pay the trust bill, and the rest of the money is going to zero buying land. The money that came from your business that's already been taxed, you ain't got it personally. It's still within the business. I guess if you wanted to take a little bit of that money off of the land that you purchasing and put it into gambling in your in your in your in your lottery going down the road with your lottery, you could take a little money that you're gonna spend to buy your land if you wanted to and buy a lottery ticket. It still came from the business. It didn't come from you personally. How do the business get funding every single month? You conducting business. Your business is making money. You can't do this if your business ain't making money. Your business generate money. You don't have an LLC and just say I got a business. Just say you got a business. That's not how that works. I'm still waiting on where y'all telling me where y'all using this money personally. Y'all still ain't told me nothing. It may be, but you ain't got no money personally to do no lottery tickets. So you're gonna be taking it from your business. And if I was a partner in your business at some point, I'm gonna fire you. You over here gambling. We try to get ahead. The point that I'm making, you don't need money personally for anything. You don't need a lottery ticket. You've been getting lottery tickets your whole life. You're just wasting your money and your time. But that ain't what you need. Look, y'all, I got to get up off here. I got to run. So I hope this information, y'all done got some value out of it. The replays will be on, this replay will actually be on YouTube at Zabo103, or it'll be on Facebook at Xavier Gibson. Instagram is not going to automatically go up because I like the way it puts it when it's on YouTube and Facebook. When Facebook posts the live, it actually comes back better. So if you want to replay the live, go to YouTube at Zabo103 and go and check out the replays on the live section. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Make that happen. And again, I hope y'all have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much for your labor. In the meantime, look, y'all be good or have fun being bad. And I'll see y'all on the other side of the sun. Peace.